Hello, hello, my friends. Welcome to the Brother Scan and Cut Tips and Tricks group. My name is Salima, and I am going to show you a really cool technique. So if you are joining me today, please let me know where you're from. I'd love to find out. Today's project is really cool. I'm going to show you how to connect the Brother Scan and Cut with the Brother Luminaire. So if you have either one of these two model scan and cuts, which would be the 325DX or the 330DX, and you have a Brother Luminaire and you've connected the two together, you can actually send designs back and forth wirelessly. It's really cool. And so I'm going to show you how to do that. So let me go ahead and change camera so you guys can see the sample here. And this is going to be what I'm going to show you today. This design was built in on the machine, and I'm going to take it over from the scan and cut directly over to the Luminaire. So let's go ahead and show you how to do that. So I have here my standard mat, little beat up standard mat here. I use it a lot. And then I have the material that I'm going to use. This is a product by Embellish, and I love the shine on this. And it is a heat transfer material, so I'm going to turn this right side down, and I'm actually going to place it towards the bottom of my mat. I normally use it on the top, but I use the top of my mat a lot. So I thought, well, you know what, let me try using the bottom of my mat. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I tape it in place so it doesn't go anywhere. And I am using the Pink Perfection tape by R&K. All right, so once I tape it down, I am going to go back over this with the brayer and make sure it's really, really stuck to my mat. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is take it over to my scan and cut and then bring in the design. So let me go ahead and just change cameras real quick, and you guys can see me load the mat on the scan and cut. And I'm just going to go ahead and just load this mat in, and then I'll call up the design. All right, so you do have to bring up the design a different way. Excuse me, it's upside down for you guys. Let me just, there we go. You do have to bring up the design a different way when you are connecting and talking to the machine. You cannot just click on the word pattern and then be able to transfer that design over. So what you want to do is you want to go and click on this arrow pointing to the left, and then you'll see where it says My Connection. And what you're going to do is you are sending your design from the scan and cut to the machine. So you're going to click on the word Send, and then you're going to click on the word pattern. So you notice it's the same pattern set that was in the previous home screen, but you just have to go about it a little bit differently. Once you're there, the design that I'm going to pick is under this Smile and Create category and under the Bon Voyage category. And this is where you have your one word or two word sayings. And so I'm just going to scroll down, and I'm going to grab the word grateful. That's the word that I'm going to use, and I am going to size it up a little bit. So I'm going to make my height is going to be 4 inches, and then my width will be 7.61. I have it actually at 7.6. Yeah, 6.1 is good. So 4 inches is going to be my height. And then what I'm going to do is click on the word Set. And I do need to mirror image this design because it is heat transfer material. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on the word Edit. object properties or object edit, excuse me, and then click on this mirror image icon so you can see it's mirror imaged. And then I'll go ahead and say okay. I'll say okay one more time here on this screen, and I will go ahead and do a fabric scan or a matte scan to make sure that my material will be, my word grateful is going to be on my material. So right now the grateful is at the very top of my screen. My material is towards the bottom of my screen. So I need to go ahead and move that down. If you're just joining in, please let me know where you're from. I'd love to see where my friends are watching me from. And what I'm doing is I'm actually bringing in a design from the Brother Scan and Cut and then sending it directly wirelessly to the Brother Luminaire. And at the Luminaire, we're going to go ahead and digitize it and turn it into an applique. So I can see my word grateful is placed perfectly on my heat transfer material. So I'm going to do two things now. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer it over to my machine by clicking the word transfer. And then I'm also going to save it to my machine so that I can go back and recall it so I can cut it. So the first thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and save it. And it's saving it to the machine's memory. And then I'll say okay. The next thing I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and click on the word transfer so it transfers it over to my machine. Now if I want to go ahead and cut this, I'm going to have to click on the word home and then just say okay. And now I need to recall that same design. So I'll click on the arrow pointing to the left. I'm going to click on my connection. I'm going to click on the word retrieve. This time it's going to be from the machine's memory. And I'm going to go to the very end here, and then there's my word grateful. I'll go ahead and say okay. I'll say okay again. I'm going to cut it, so I'm going to say please select, and I'll say cut. I also want to make sure that my half cut is on, which it is. So I'll go ahead and just say start, and my machine will go ahead and cut, and I'll change camera so you can watch that cut. All right, wonderful. It is done. So I'll go ahead and then just take out the mat from the scan and cut. I'm going to go ahead and change my camera. I'm going to move my camera. So give me just a second while I move it in position here. I want you guys to see the screen now of the sewing machine. And so I don't want you guys to get dizzy as I move it over. All right. So now I'm on the Brother Luminaire, and there is the glare. Let me see if I can, oh, I know where the glare is coming from. Give me a second. Okay. Okay, so I'm on the Brother Luminaire, and now what I'm going to do is recall that pattern that was transferred over. So to do that, I'm on my design center of the machine, and I'm going to click on the shapes icon, and there is a picture at the very top of the scan and cut. So I'll go ahead and click on that. And the very last one that is here is the one that was transferred over. So I'll click OK, and then you can see the word grateful on my screen. It is mirror image because that's the way I transferred it. So I'm going to go ahead and just do it so it's the right way. I am embroidering on a towel. I have the bulk of my towel on the left side of the machine, so I am going to rotate my design 90 degrees to the left. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say okay to that to close out that box. And I will go ahead and turn on my grid just so I can see if I am centered within my, so I can see the T is going to be right down the center, so it looks really good. So that's perfect. So the next thing I'm going to do is I want to make this a straight stitch for my placement line. So I'll go ahead and click on my line properties icon and select the double run. I'll change the color to red and I'll say okay. I'll go ahead and click on the bucket or the cup icon, and I will touch the word grateful. And you'll notice, and I don't know if you can see that, maybe I'll zoom in here just a little bit, that parts of the word are not all red. So parts of the word have a little bit of black in it. So I'll just go ahead and click again just to make sure that everything here is red. All the little components are all red. So once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and save the design to my machine's memory. So I'll click on the memory icon, save it to the machine's memory. And then I'll go ahead and click on the word next. I'll click on the word set, and then OK. So here is the word grateful. The next thing I'm going to do is click on the word add, and then recall that design from the machine's memory. And so what I want to do now is make it a satin stitch for the applique. So here's the word grateful. I'll go ahead and click OK. And then I'll click on my line properties icon. Satin stitch is a default, so I'll just change the color. And then once again, clicking on the bucket or the cup icon and touching all the parts of the word grateful. I'll click on the word next. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this link icon because I want the entire thing selected, and I'll change the width of my satin stitch just a little bit and then say OK. And then I'll click on the word set and then OK. So there is my design. I'll click on the word embroidery, and I'm going to start by doing that placement line. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera over so you guys can see the machine stitch out. There you go. And I'll lower my presser foot. All right. And press the word start. So what it's going to do right now, my friends, it's going to stitch out the placement line of the word grateful. So while it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and remove the pink tape from the mat and remove my project from my mat so I can start weeding it. All right. Okay, so I've got my word grateful. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's really hard to see, but it's it's on here. And now I'm going to go ahead and just start weeding it, okay? So I'm going to kind of grab a corner here. And then just start peeling back and then weeding the vinyl out. And what I like to do is I like to cut it so that I have two sections, the top and the bottom. And then I'm just going to gently go all the way around. It sounds like my machine has stopped. So what I'll go ahead. Oh, it's still going on. It's still a little bit more. It's doing the little extra pieces. So I'll keep weeding. Okay, so far so good. Now I'm going to go back in and weed the little pieces here. So it's best to just kind of take a little tool here, and then you can just go ahead and weed those little areas out. Hey Birdie, welcome. Good to see you. Is it cold in Denver? I bet. Oh my goodness, I'm cold here and it's nowhere near what it's like in Denver. Okay, my friends, I have gone ahead and weeded that out. So there is the word grateful. And it looks like my machine has stopped too. So perfect timing. Let me go ahead and take it out of the machine and show you what I'm going to do next. So it's gone ahead and stitched out. Not sure what happened there, but that's okay. It's gone ahead and stitched out the outline of the word grateful. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this heat transfer vinyl directly over that and give it a good press, okay? So I will be right back. I'm gonna go to my iron and give this a good press, okay? So give me just a quick second. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hey, Leanie. Oh, you turned on your heater? Yeah, I turn it on every morning. I feel like I can't get up, or the kids can't get up for school, so I always have to turn on the heater in the morning. And then it's nice and toasty. I actually even turned it on last night. Nobody was home. I had the house to myself. I'm like, oh my God, it's kind of cold in here. So I turned it on for a little bit, warmed up, and then I was good to go. So I've gone ahead and pressed this. I'm just waiting for it to cool down a little bit. You want to make sure it's cool before you peel that plastic off. We were at 59, yeah. It was cold, definitely cold. So I'm just being really gentle as I peel it, and you want to make sure you've cooled it off before you peel it. I mean, it looks just beautiful just the way it is. It doesn't even need any extra stitches, right? But that's no fun. So let me go ahead and turn the camera back over to the machine. And now it's going to stitch out it's going to do that satin stitch, and that's how easy it is to, oops, I see some thread here. Hang on a second. Where's my scissors? I think I'm going to change my needle. I've been using this, what have I been using? I've been using the sticky stabilizer for a little bit now, a few projects, so it's a good time to change my needle. And of course, I can't find mine. Oh, here it is, my non-stick. Is that it? Super, I think that's it. Okay. All right, now we're good to go. So the machine's going to stitch out, and basically at the end of it, it's going to look like this. That's just a different color. That was on a towel. This was on a table runner. Let me show you the sample here. And that's how easy it is to transfer the design from the machine, from your scan and cut over to your Luminaire. And as long as you have that 330 scan and cut or the 325, you can do it. Now, let's say you have a Baby Lock Solaris. There is a workaround for that. What I would recommend doing is on your scan and cut, take a piece of paper, lay it down, and draw the word grateful. So you're going to draw it first. Okay, so you're going to draw on your scan and cut the word grateful on that piece of paper. Then you're going to take that piece of paper and put it on your scan mat on your machine. And then you're going to scan that word in on the sewing machine side. So on the Solaris, you'll scan that in, and then you'll repeat the same process by doing the digitizing, meaning doing the straight stitch for the placement, and then the satin stitch for the applique. So it's just a couple more steps, but there is that workaround, so you can still get the same result. And there's a lot of cute sayings in that machine on the scan and cut, so as long as you draw it first, you're fine. You can already see that gold thread. It looks so pretty. Let me see if I can change the angle of my machine a little bit, my camera. Isn't that gorgeous? about a 17-minute design, so we're about 10 more minutes into it. What I am going to do, just to save us some time here, I'm going to stop my machine. I do have that stitched out already, so let me go ahead and change cameras and show it to you, so that way you guys can see it, because you guys all know how the machines stitch out. All right, so let me go ahead. Here is I did the other side earlier just so I'd have a sample to show you. But that's what it would look like once it's all stitched out. Isn't that beautiful? And I like the way this this vinyl, it's, what is it called? It's the foil, that's what it is, it's foil, embellished foil. When you press it against the fabric, it kind of takes the texture of the fabric right through. So I just thought this was just really pretty, and I'm just gonna hang it up in my kitchen, and you know, I'm starting my decorations already. So we actually got our tree delivered this week. I think it came in Wednesday. The kids opened the box. This is the first year I actually got a fake tree. Normally we get a real tree. And I just thought, you know what, maybe it's time just to get a fake one and be done with it, right? Then we have it. And so anyways, so that's what we did this year. So we'll see. The tree already had lights on it, and Rayan wanted to put lights himself. So we had a big 1 week debate and discussion about that topic. And then finally, I think he just gave in to me and said, look, okay, just get it. So I don't even think we had a tree up last year. I'm not sure why we didn't. You know, with all this COVID and stuff, and we weren't really getting together. So we didn't really have a tree. So this year, you know, Faison's last Christmas at home, living at home. Hopefully he'll be back next year from college. But so I thought, you know what, let's do it up this year. So, all right, let's see. Yes, they are my colors, Leanie. Can you tell that's why I picked it? I do have these towels in stock. If you guys are interested, I do have them. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I could have actually put the Grateful up a little bit higher and added something on the bottom as well. But you know, I wanted something quick, something done, and I just made sure that when I was doing it, that the word grateful, the size of it, when I fold the towels, you know, on the right side and on the left side, that this was basically centered. So that's how I kind of picked my size. Anybody else have any questions or anything else I can answer? Good to see you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I wanted to do this one again because of, I just kind of fine-tuned it, I guess. What can I say? Oh, the foil is really cool, Leanie. So the foil, the Scan and Cut loves it. It cuts really nicely, and the colors are just so vibrant. There's reds and black and gold and all kinds of fun stuff. So I will set it aside for you. All right, my friends. So thank you guys so much for watching, and hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the weekend. And we shall see you on Tuesday. For those of you who are in the IQ tips and tricks, I will be doing a presentation on Tuesday. So I look forward to seeing you guys then. I can be human. I know. Well, you know what? It happens to all of us, and of course, on live camera, it happens more often than none. But you know what? It's all good. You know what? You can't be perfect, and it's you learn, right? When you make mistakes or when something doesn't work, you learn, and that's what I like, because I always like to learn something. So yeah, thank you though, Birdie. Okay, my friends, you guys take care. Have a good rest of the weekend, and then we shall chat with you guys soon. All right? Bye.